It's a 1980s kind of day, isn't it, girly? Oh, yes. We used to start a lot of our old videos in this very spot.
I said you'll have fun, and I won't disappoint you.
Welcome, fellow Kiss fans. Welcome to It's All For You Demons, celebrating the fun of being a Kiss fan. Easter weekend, happy Easter to those of you who celebrate. Easter always reminds me of Killers. The coloring of the album cover. Killers is an Easter record. There you go. We have another seasonal Kiss record to celebrate. This Easter, put on Killers. I guess it doesn't really go too well with the story of Easter, and the title of the record, but whatever floats your boat. Which brings us to Hot Face. My hot face this week is the word possibility. I've been working on myself and my old belief system and my old thinking habits that I've carried with me my entire life, and I'm trying to shift those and become a better person. But so my possibility just keeps floating into my head this week, and the beauty of it is, in Kiss collecting, all things are possible, right? Like, I used to always think negatively, and I always used to, think, oh, I'm never going to get that piece, and lately I'm like, screw that, I can get that piece. Everything's possible. We can achieve any goal we set for ourselves. The possibilities are endless, and also the fun of that is the possibilities of collecting rabbit holes. You can collect whatever rabbit hole you want, any niche, flavor, whatever. If you just want to collect all Kiss things that are pink and go for an Easter collection of Kiss, and all you collect is Killers because you love Easter and you love pink and turquoise, and that's what you want to do, that's what you can do, because all things are possible. That's my hot face for this week. Leave yours below. So as far as this week, pretty straight and simple. 1980. I know we talked 1980 Australian a few weeks ago, but 1980 is the big buzzword in this episode. And Woolworths. When I first bought the hottest brand in the land 6 years ago, it's crazy to think this came out 6 years ago, but when I first bought this book, there were things in this book I'd never seen before. One being the 81 Kiss Diary, and when I saw this in the book, this brings us back to the possibility hot face, because when I saw this in the book, I thought, oh, that's awesome, but there is no way I'm ever going to obtain that in the collection. And 2024, this became a reality. So once again, all things are possible, and all rabbit holes are possible, because I went down a further rabbit hole of another item from Hottest Brand in the Land that I never knew existed. And a lot of it comes from the 1979 section of this book. When this book came out, I hadn't decided to go down a Dynasty rabbit hole, and so a lot of this stuff in here, like crazy 79 disco era Kiss songbooks, I never thought, I'm never gonna see any of that stuff. The Dynasty songbook, Japanese songbooks, like, no way is any of this stuff ever gonna be found. And when I hit the poster page, I of course had seen the Dynasty poster, I had seen the superhero poster from the Unmasked merch form, but like, this stuff's cool, it's cool to actually see it, but I'm never gonna obtain this stuff. And little by little, over the years, without even thinking about it, you do start to accumulate this stuff, like Japanese songbook. What? Like, it just pops up in your life one day, and it's like, again, all things are possible. I think when we're younger, and I really need a haircut. I think when we're younger, 19 years old. That's how old I was when I got Unmasked on album. You know, I think, especially then, you're like, eBay didn't exist, so you're like, I'm never ever gonna find this kind of stuff in T&T variety store, St. Joseph, Missouri. And so that was my thinking when I first saw the Kiss superhero poster, the most beautiful composite of all time. That's a bold statement. I would agree, though. The first Kiss full figure shots in a poster. Brilliant color, sharp, perfect detail. This may be the only way you'll ever catch Kiss standing still enough to reveal what these costumes look like. I've never really noticed how cool the marketing for this poster was. That is a pretty badass way to advertise this poster, because unless you saw Kiss live or bought every magazine on the newsstand, you never really had a great look at their costumes, like full-on detail. So that's a cool way to see. We're learning new stuff every day. I've had this album since I was 19 years old. I've had this merch form since I was 19 years old. And what? At 51, I'm just now realizing that's how they marketed this poster. The fun of being a Kiss fan, it never freaking ends. I love it. So that would be another piece that, 19 years old through 49, I never thought I would ever see that poster until one day it arrived, and this is probably the most beautiful Kiss poster ever. It's just, you talk Woolworths, and when I say Woolworths, I mean more than the department store. I mean a feeling like a 7-year-old kid with his mom running errands, and they make a stop at Woolworths, and there's some Kiss item inside that store, and that kid's mom picks up that collectible, and it just makes the perfect summer day for them. So that is Woolworths to me, and this poster screams Woolworths, and this is just another version of possibilities are endless, because I never thought this would grace my walls. And when all your crap is in boxes like mine is, you don't see it every day. And when I pulled this out for this video today, I was kind of taken back by it, because I forgot how freaking pretty this poster is. I love this poster, which leads us to another poster from the hottest brand in the land that is right up there with Woolworth's Glory. And it is this. If you saw the subject of this video, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And this just came in. I haven't had a chance to frame it, but it is the Campus Craft version of the superhero poster that states at the bottom, Kiss 80. And man, you don't get any more Woolworths fun than that. That green and that font, oh my gosh, that to me is childhood magic right there. And it's the same shots as the superhero poster. This thing is fairly beat up, has some tape and Velcro residue on it, but I couldn't pass it up. When I first saw that Kiss 80, just the phrase Kiss 80 is childhood to me. And weird to think I became a fan 8 years later, and this poster's kind of always been a dream to me. And just always been like, that thing's a beauty. I love it. There are 3 Campus Craft versions kind of like this, and this is a 79 poster. So what they did is they would make a poster for the next year. This is 79, it says 80. There's a 78 poster with the 78 costumes that says Kiss 79. Then there is a 1980 poster with unmasked costumes that says Kiss 81. So it's kind of cool how they did that. It doesn't really reflect the year the actual poster came out. And of course, this wasn't the lineup of Kiss 80. Was for pretend at first, but not by the end of the year. And man, I love this poster. I got some frames on the way. I believe they arrive tomorrow, so that will be in a frame very shortly and possibly up on the wall in an upcoming video. But as we were talking possibilities at the beginning, I said rabbit hole possibilities, and this poster has kind of shoved me down a rabbit hole correction of the way I collected. I did have all 4 individual superhero shots from the Kiss poster book magazine. All those, they were hanging on the Wax Night basement walls. But since the new Kiss 80 poster is in the Wax Night house, I don't really want 2 of the same, well, it'd be 6. I don't really want 6 of the same shots on the wall. So I'm going to stick with the superhero poster from the Unmasked Merch Forum on the wall, the Kiss 80 poster in a frame on the wall, and I have returned the Kiss poster book stories back to the magazine. So they are all folded up in the magazine as a kid would have got from Woolworths in 1979. So now let's rock and roll all night and journal every day. Today's entry, Friday, April 18th. Much like last week, another filler day. You know, so you have to have some filler because they all can't be killers. We're really talking about killers a lot today. So April 18th, list all the ways Kiss is better than all other rock bands. I don't see a lot of people talking about Van Halen, you know, every week on a video. I don't see a lot of people talking about the Foo Fighters every week in a video. There are so many Kiss channels that have Kiss content every week because Kiss is better than every other rock band. Facts. April 18th. And let's not forget, a few days later, April 21st, the reason I do everything on this channel. This channel would not exist if it wasn't for these two. Happy birthday, Large Marge and Pee Wee. Pee Wee will be 11 this year. I turned 51 and little boy will be 5. So a good support system of dogs. Thank you for hanging out with me every Friday night. You guys are my Kiss support system. I hope I'm somewhere in your life as some Kiss fun. If not, God bless you anyway. Happy Easter to those who celebrate. Happy Killers Day to the rest of us. And thank you again. Just thank you so much for hanging with me every Friday. And this is what I loved doing in high school. This is what I love doing now. And don't forget, all things are possible. Collecting rabbit holes, any piece of merch, any dream you have, you can do it. Everything's possible. The possibilities of these two taking a nap right now are very high. Be good to your babies, spay, neuter, microchip, take care, be safe. We will talk to you soon.
I said you